Attorney Jeffery Leving has spent decades advocating for fathers and families, helping parents navigate some of life's most difficult decisions, which can include divorce.
Yeah, today he's joining us along with litigation director James Hagler to discuss the importance of a father's presence, especially during back-to-school season. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Jeffrey, let's talk to you first. With school starting, how important is a dad to be there at the beginning, middle, and end of the year, really the whole school year?
Critical. The first book I've ever written, Father's Rights, on pages 46 and 47, I talk about that issue. Father presence is critical, especially during the first day of school, because it could be a deterrent to bullying, gang recruitment, and it can empower children and give them a sense of security and safety, especially in the type of area where I grew up in the city where there were gangs.
Yeah.
James, why do you think father-child cases are very understated in our court system?
Well, there are thoughts, and still happens, that people think that mothers should be the primary caretakers, and fathers are unfortunately regarded as secondary caregivers rather than essential parents. And an example of that old conception was fathers are just biological necessities but social accidents.
Oh.
And that's not correct, of course. And today, you know, a lot of fathers are castigated because they don't spend as much time with their children. But nobody even examines what obstacles are in their way, or that they're working very hard to support their children. So there's a bias there.
You've worked for a very long time to help fathers reunite with their kids. Is there a specific case that sticks out in your head?
Well, a recent case I had, the father came to us very upset. He had young twin boys, and the boys had been taken to a distant state by the mother without his knowledge or consent, and the mother was reported to have substance problems, serious problems, and the father was beside himself. Came to us. We did an investigation. We located the mother. We found that the situation was even worse than the father knew. We got the necessary facts together. We served the mother with process. We went to court, and those children were ordered back to Illinois in the father's care. And I believe we helped save these children's future.
Jeffrey, what is the message that you have for fathers who think maybe they don't have options or they're running out of time?
Don't give up hope. Recently, we had a major victory where a father didn't give up hope, and he took my advice, and he fought for his child. There was an order of protection entered against him. He didn't even know there was a court date. He was completely blindsided, and the order was entered against him where he couldn't have any contact with his own child. If he did and violated the order of protection, he could have ended up in jail up to a year. One, order of protection vacated by the judge, and the mother was ordered to stop the bad behavior, no harassment. She was ordered no illegal activities, or she could end up in jail. So the tables were turned, and the child was reunited with dad. It's a very, very happy reunion, and this is something I'm looking forward to talking about on my radio show this Saturday on Power 92.3 FM. And afterward, I'm going to be meeting Congressman Danny K. Davis, my friend LaShawn Ford, who's a member of the House of Representatives in Illinois. And this is what we're going to promote: positive father involvement and the involvement of both parents in the back-to-school parade on the west side of Chicago.
Well, and you were just at an event that happened recently supporting kids and making sure that they were well fed before the start of the school year.
Exactly, and that was at St. Ignatius College Prep. And Judge Boyd and other judges were there supporting a food pantry to help the homeless, to help children, because no child should go to school hungry. How can you learn when you're hungry? And he was there. Jim Hagler was there. Tanya was the keynote speaker there, and it was a great event, and I support it every year. Jim Hagler supports it every year, and we donate money to it every year.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you
both for
joining us. For more information about Attorney Jeffery Leving and his legal services, you can visit his website, dadsrights.com, or contact his office directly. The number is right there on your screen.